each word a fresh slap in the face. No poor people at Thanksgiving this year. It ruins the mood. Don't bother showing up. Amanda. I stared at my sister's message, sitting in my private office on the 50th floor of the city's most prestigious building. Below the text was a group chat where my family enthusiastically agreed. Mom, it's for the best. Your father's new promotion at Sterling Corp deserves a proper celebration. Dad, we can't have the VP of Operations daughter showing up in last year's clothes. Brother Mike, yeah, don't need any charity cases at dinner. If only they knew that Sterling Corporation, where they all worked in their prestigious middle management positions, had just been acquired by my company yesterday. The papers would be announced tomorrow morning, Thanksgiving Day. They thought I was a struggling office worker because that's what I'd let them believe. It was easier than explaining how their charity case daughter had built Phoenix Enterprises into a multi-billion-dollar technology conglomerate. My phone buzzed again. Amanda, don't try to guilt trip us either. Success runs in this family, well, most of us anyway. Success. I looked at the acquisition papers on my desk. Sterling Corp had been failing for years, their stock price plummeting. My family's precious jobs were only secure because I'd secretly been keeping the company afloat through shell corporations, waiting for the right moment. Ms. Matthews. My assistant's voice came through the intercom. The Sterling Corp transition team is ready for your instructions. Schedule the all-hands meeting for 9 a.m. tomorrow, I replied. Mandatory attendance for all employees. Even on Thanksgiving? Especially on Thanksgiving. I smiled, thinking of my family's reaction when they realized who their new boss was. And Janet? Make sure the Matthews family is seated in the front row. I pulled up the company directory, looking at their positions. Dad. VP of Operations, barely competent, kept his job through office politics. Mom. HR manager, hired mainly through Dad's influence. Amanda. Marketing director, 3 failed campaigns in 2 years. Mike. Junior executive, more interested in office gossip than actual work. All of them drawing inflated salaries while mocking my supposed poverty. All about to learn that their jobs depended on the daughter they'd banned from Thanksgiving. My phone buzzed one final time. A photo from Amanda showing the elaborate place settings for tomorrow's dinner. See what you're missing? Guess you should have chosen a better career path. I looked at my own dinner plans, a catered meal in my penthouse while I finalized tomorrow's announcements. The sterling silver place settings in her photo probably cost less than my breakfast coffee service. Oh, Amanda, I murmured, I did choose a better career path. You just don't know it yet. I pressed the intercom again. Janet, contact HR. I want performance reviews for the entire Matthews family on my desk in an hour. Let's see how well success runs in the family. Tomorrow would be a Thanksgiving they'd never forget. Thanksgiving morning arrived crisp and clear. I sat in my private conference room at Sterling Corp, watching the security feeds as employees filed in, grumbling about the mandatory holiday meeting. My family arrived together, dressed in their finest, all designer labels. All bought on credit according to their financial records. They took their assigned seats in the front row, still completely unaware of what was coming. Did you see her pathetic text response? Amanda was saying to Mike. She actually tried to explain why she should be allowed to come to dinner. Some people just don't know their place, Mike laughed. Speaking of place, I heard the new owner's restructuring everything. Probably means promotions for us successful types. Dad straightened his tie, nodding confidently. I've heard rumors about the new CEO. Apparently very young, very wealthy. The kind of person who appreciates proper breeding and family background. If only they knew. The HR files on my desk told a different story about the Matthews family's success. Dad's department had the highest turnover rate in the company. 18 qualified employees had quit in the past year alone, citing his incompetent leadership. Mom had 3 pending harassment complaints for discriminating against employees she deemed not our class, dear. Amanda's marketing campaigns had cost the company millions, but she'd kept her job through Dad's influence. Mike had been caught sleeping at his desk 11 times this quarter. Ms. Matthews. Janet appeared at my door. Everyone's assembled. The board members are ready to introduce you. I stood, smoothing my Chanel suit worth more than my entire family's combined monthly salary. Let's give them a Thanksgiving they'll remember. The boardroom fell silent as I entered through the side door, taking my position behind the podium. My family sat directly in front of me, still checking their phones, not bothering to look up at their new boss. "Good morning, Sterling Corporation," I began. Amanda's head snapped up at the sound of my voice. Mom's phone clattered to the floor. Dad's face went from confident to ashen in seconds. "For those who don't know me, I'm Catherine Matthews, CEO of Phoenix Enterprises and your new owner." Mike actually fell out of his chair. "Some of you may be wondering why I called this meeting on Thanksgiving." I smiled directly at my family. "Well, I recently learned that success runs in families. That some people deserve a place at the table while others—" What was the phrase? "Ruin the mood." Mom's hands began to shake. Amanda looked like she might faint. "So today we're going to talk about performance reviews, starting with our front row." I pulled out their files. "Let's discuss what real success looks like, shall we? Let's start with Robert Matthews, VP of Operations," I continued, opening the first file. "Interesting performance metrics here, Dad. 18 resignations in 12 months. 3 failed projects. 1 department nearly shut down due to mismanagement." Dad stood up, his face red. "Now see here, Dash. Sit down," I said quietly. "Or security will assist you. You always taught me to respect authority, remember?" He sank back into his chair as I moved to the next file. Susan Matthews, HR Manager. 3 harassment complaints, systematic discrimination, and oh, look at this, hiring family members without disclosing relationships. That's actually illegal, Mom. Mom burst into tears, but I wasn't finished. Amanda Matthews, Marketing Director. 3 failed campaigns costing $4.2 million in losses. Numerous complaints about bullying subordinates. And my personal favorite, expensing personal shopping as market research. Amanda's perfectly made-up face crumpled. "Katie, please. That's Ms. Matthews or CO Matthews to you. No poor people allowed, remember?" Finally, I turned to my brother. "And Michael Matthews, Junior Executive. 11 instances of sleeping at work, 27 late arrivals, and 1 particularly interesting incident involving inappropriate use of the copy room." The entire room was dead silent. Other employees were either staring in shock or trying to hide their satisfaction at seeing the Matthews family finally face consequences. "Now," I closed the files with a sharp snap, "let's discuss your futures at Sterling Corporation. You can't fire us," Dad found his voice. "We're family." "Family." I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "Was it family when you mocked my poor career choices? When you banned me from Thanksgiving? When you told relatives I was a disappointment?" I pulled out my phone, displaying their group chat on the presentation screen. Hundreds of messages mocking me, belittling my supposed struggle, celebrating their superiority. "The thing about success," I continued, "is that it's not about designer clothes or fancy dinner parties. It's about competence, integrity, and actual results." I pressed a button, and their termination papers appeared on the tablets in front of them. "Dad, you're fired. Mom, you're fired. Amanda and Mike, you're both fired. Security will escort you to clear out your desks. Don't worry about your company credit cards. They're already deactivated." But where will we go?" Mom sobbed. "What will we do?" "Well," I smiled, "I hear the local diner is hiring servers for their Thanksgiving shift. No dress code required. No poor people banned." As security led them out, I addressed the remaining employees. "For everyone else, enjoy your holiday. When you return, you'll find new management, better policies, and a workplace where success is earned, not inherited." I watched through the security feeds as my family stood on the sidewalk, clutching boxes of their belongings. Their phones buzzed simultaneously, notifications that their final paychecks had been deposited, along with a photo of me enjoying Thanksgiving dinner in my penthouse. 1 year later, Sterling Corp is thriving under new leadership. Dad works as a night shift supervisor at a warehouse. Mom took a job as a retail clerk, ironically serving the same people she once looked down on. Amanda manages a small boutique, no designer clothes in sight. Mike actually improved the most, starting his own landscaping business and learning the value of real work. Me. I kept their group chat messages framed in my office, right next to Sterling Corp's new record-breaking quarterly reports. A reminder that success isn't about who you ban from your table, it's about who earns their seat. Every Thanksgiving, I host a company dinner for employees who have nowhere else to go. The invitation list specifically includes those who others might consider poor or unsuccessful. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't just proving people wrong, it's teaching them the true meaning of success, one pink slip at a time. As for my family, they received Thanksgiving invitations this year, to serve the dinner, not attend it. After all, everyone deserves a chance to learn the value of honest work. Even if the lesson comes from the poor daughter they tried to erase. Last week something unexpected happened. Amanda came to my office, not through the executive entrance, but through the service door where she now delivers lunch orders to our employees. I understand now, she said quietly, placing my salad on the desk. Not just about the money but about dignity. About treating people with respect regardless of their position. I looked at her closely. Gone were the designer clothes and superior attitude. She carried herself differently now, with a humility born of hard experience. The boutique I manage, she continued, I've started a program helping women dress for job interviews. Women who can't afford designer labels. Women I used to look down on. For the first time in years I saw my sister instead of my tormentor. The holiday dinner service. She hesitated. Could I volunteer this year instead of being assigned? There's a difference between serving because you have to and serving because you want to help. I studied her for a moment. You know what the difference is between then and now, Amanda? What? You finally understand that worth isn't measured in bank accounts or social status. It's measured in how we treat others. This year's company Thanksgiving will be different. Amanda will still serve, but as a volunteer coordinator helping others learn the lesson she did. Mom and Dad have asked to help too, not for show or status, but because they've finally learned what really matters. Sometimes the best revenge isn't in the punishment, but in watching those who hurt you grow into better people. And sometimes